I just want some advice on how to find someone because I'm almost 30 years old and I never had sexual experience or anything with a man. And people tell me that I have this masculine energy and I want to know how to get out of it.
Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel where we learn from one another's experiences and grow from it. Today, I thought it would be a nice subject matter to tap back into femininity. A couple years ago, the whole masculine feminine thing was pretty popular, but it seems like it's kind of died down. So I thought it would be good to kind of touch back on this topic. A lot of women really don't know how to tap into their feminine energy, and then they wonder why they attract the certain people that they do. So I thought that this would be perfect to tap into. So go ahead and watch the content, and I will be back to give you guys my opinion and my commentary on it.
I don't like just bad. Like, you gotta be bad and feminine. I like fold clothes, run my water, cook, iron my clothes. You do that, you got me. Oh, you got me. You treat me like my mama. I like a feminine woman. I don't like no get fresh and just get fresh, look in the mirror like me and ready to go. I like coming in and put a wet towel on my head. You know what I'm saying? I like a feminine woman. It's nothing like a feminine woman. That's what you missing in a woman. That feminine.
As a woman, if you are hypersexual, that is a masculine trait. Okay, and I understand a lot of women are in masculine roles. Okay, you are the breadwinners, you're independent, and so you may have a lot of built up tension. But you gotta understand, you're gonna have to get another outlet, because once you give a man your body, you have essentially given him everything, and there's nothing else he could possibly want from you. If he a pookie, he may want your money, he may have agendas and motives, but you got to understand the power that you have when you don't have sex. A man has not touched me in years, and the reason is because I understand the power of femininity. And if you ready to drop your drawers just as fast as he ready to drop them, you're in a masculine trait. And men, they don't like masculine women. I don't care how much they try to lie and say they do. They don't like that. They are hunters. Give them a chase.
One of the biggest troubles that many women have is going from being masculine to embracing their feminine side. And it's not a surprise, because a woman's environment or experiences will often force her to be in her masculine side. She'll rely on that side of her for survival or even respect, eventually abandoning her feminine side until she feels it's safe enough for it to come out.
She's had to be strong, and that stems from childhood. Okay, childhood happens, and that impacts us way more than we like to admit or that we even realize. And then life reinforces those messages. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and so you get stronger and stronger, and then you can come across harsher and more aggressive over time. So I think that a lot of times what we look at as someone who's like, oh, she's so masculine or this, that, and the third, is somebody that has been hurt, disappointed, betrayed, and she's living life as a reaction.
If a man is not spending all of his free time with you, because men don't have much free time. Men that are actually working and accomplishing things, they usually have a set period of time throughout their week that is for, hanging out, having fun. Most men worth two pennies rubbed together have very strict time schedules. If you are not spending more than 80% of his free time with him, trust and believe he's spending it with someone else. Men are not designed to be alone. They are designed to have feminine balance, companionship. If your man has his free time, or the guy you're seeing has his free time, and you are not getting majority of it, you're just not the girl. Because I guarantee you that if he is busting his ass working, when he does have a nice Friday night off, a nice Sunday off, he's not spending it alone knitting sweaters.
To my ladies, I need you to listen to me, and listen to me closely. I need you to stop claiming to be masculine. It is not a good look. I am not making this video to tear y'all down, but I need you to understand what I'm about to say. Your femininity should never be a sacrifice when it comes to a man. A man can only embrace it. He is not the reason for it. He cannot give it to you, nor can he take it away. Only you can. Do you understand that your femininity is literally a superpower? It was something that you had ever since you were born. It is literally your essence and your character. Your feminine energy is literally a journey you must walk with God. It's an act of discipline. But claiming to be masculine does nothing but hurt you. It makes you two-faced. It makes you literally an imposter to who you really are. And I know y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say, but stop blaming men for the reason why y'all act the way y'all act. You have to hold yourself accountable for even when you get hurt by people that were not for you. The worst thing you can ever do is let somebody rob you of who you truly are just because they did not choose you, or because they lied to you or broke you down. The worst thing you can ever do is allow somebody to let you turn on yourself and make you become somebody you do not even recognize.
Talk about the masculine women. The masculine women are why so many men expect you feminine women to do more. Because the masculine women are out there doing everything. From start.
So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. When I was married, or when I was in my past relationships, and a man didn't wear the pants, I had to take off my skirt and put the pants in the relationship. If a man can't show up and can't be a man and an alpha, then guess what? A woman has to be that alpha.
Women that just naturally exude masculine energy, and girls that exude natural masculine energy are just less attractive to men. Especially guys, the more masculine a guy is, the more he's able to detect that energy from a female and be like, you know what? Nah, I'm good, man. Because it's just not, you just have sex with her and throws her to the side of the road, because we don't want to deal with those.
When a woman leads with her money and her career, they be so competitive, so far in their masculine energy, that they will die on that hill and be miserable for the rest of their life before they have to admit, I did this wrong. Imagine doing all that for a career, for someone to care, just for everyone to be like. Then you want the richest, sexiest, finest, strongest men, and you're like, hey, come get with me. I'm pretty. I'm giving it up. I got money. Hey, let's be together. And the men are like, nah. And then they're marrying a woman with less than you and way happier.
Fact. A woman in her masculine will not be as attractive to most men as a woman in her feminine, regardless of her physical beauty. But here's another fact. A woman will not be able to relax into her feminine with a man who's not in his masculine. So we attract partners that are reciprocal opposites energetically. We also adapt to our partner's energy when we're in a current relationship. So if you're a man and you want your woman to be more feminine, you need to up your masculine, and vice versa.
I want to hear what women want.
We want a man who acts like a man, who's manly, who takes care of things. Leader. I don't need you to kill an alligator with your hands, but I need to feel so feminine around you because you are so masculine that I can turn my brain off because I know you've got it. Yeah. I trust you. I trust your intellect. I trust your character. I trust that I can close my eyes and follow you blindly, and I'm going to be happy about where I end up. You tell me where we're going, and we're all set. We live in a time of new age feminism and this whole idea that women and men need to be the same and they need to compete, and it's all from the enemy. It's all lies.
Ladies, if you are doing this one thing, it is going to kill the passion and attraction in your relationship. And what it is mothering your man. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So when you're in your beautiful feminine energy, your man is in his healthy masculine energy. You two are drawn together like magnets. There's romance, there's passion, and there's very strong attraction. As soon as you start mothering your man, you are no longer in your feminine energy. You start leaning towards him. What other choices does he have now except to lean back? This puts him out of his masculine energy. The relationship polarity balance is off and the attraction is now very weak. Your man already has a mother. He needs you to be his beautiful feminine woman and bring that juiciness and excitement back to the relationship. It's going to feel really good for you too if he is in his healthy masculine energy when that polarity is there.
I want my woman to just be a woman, and that allows me to be a man, because if you sitting here hiding your emotions and trying to be all strong and I take on the world, why am I doing it? Why we both doing it? Like, it don't make sense, you know. That's my job, to be the strong one, to be your backbone, to lift you up and be that positive light, and someone to motivate you. Yeah, to motivate, and I mean that comes from both ways. But as far as like being hard, like the reason women feel like that is because men haven't really been taking their job as serious as they need to. You know, we haven't been taking on that duty of being the provider, of being the protector, of, you know, being that rock for her. You know, so women feel like they got to do it themselves.
When a woman is in her masculine energy, this is typically a bad thing. Not because she's using masculine energy, but because it means she's self-protecting. If you're using your masculine energy to lead a meeting or organize something or problem solve, that's great. But when we say that a woman is in her masculine, it typically means she's in her proving, striving, or convincing energy. And why would she be doing that? Well, we prove and strive and try to convince when we fear that we're not good enough as we are. So we compensate for not feeling good enough by doing more or by trying to convince other people that we're good enough. But we're not really trying to convince other people. We're trying to convince ourselves. Or we self-protect, we become hyper independent and don't let people in when we're afraid of getting hurt. And the problem really is these subconscious beliefs, the fears underneath those actions. Because if we have those, we're going to draw a lot of people to us, or more importantly, we're going to tolerate a lot of people who also don't see our value. And this is why oftentimes the women who present themselves as being really independent, as not needing a man, end up having the most difficulties finding quality men, because that energy isn't coming from a place of high self-worth or a place of confidence. It's actually coming from a place of insecurity. And so in order to attract healthy people, we have to work on becoming healthy ourselves.
All right, queens, you guys have been asking for this one. 5 traits that all men want in their woman. Here we go. Number 1, physical attraction. If you want to know one thing about men, it's this. They are absolutely visual creatures. I cannot stress that enough. A man of quality is going to want a woman who takes pride in her physical appearance. She doesn't necessarily have to be the most beautiful woman in the room, but she is going to be a woman that understands the importance of how she presents herself to the world. Number 2, cooperation. And this one is so simple. If you want a man that's a natural leader, you're going to have to know how to cooperate. He's going to want to see if you can be a partner, if you can be a team player. He's not going to want to fight with you over every single little thing. If you are stubborn, combative, closed-minded, and negative, a man of quality is going to find that extremely unattractive. A lot of us women get into the bad habit of making everything a battle. And if you want a man who is high quality, he is going to have way bigger things on his mind, like running your family in the right direction. He's not going to want to argue with you over what you are going to have for dinner. Number 3, to feel wanted. Don't get me wrong. He wants you to be fully yoked. He wants you to have a life. He wants you to have all of those things. And you can be independent. You can be a boss woman, but just make sure that you're operating in that feminine energy that makes a man feel wanted. He's going to love the fact that you have passions and interests in a life outside of him. But you have to remember that a man's natural state is to be a provider and to be a protector. And he's going to want a woman that makes him feel like he has room to do that in her life. Number 4, and y'all are not going to like this one. Accountability. Yeah. Harsh truth. We don't have any problem telling a man the 152 ways that they are wrong. But when the tables turn and it's our turn to be accountable, a high-quality man is going to want to see that you know how to do that. Can you apologize? Can you hold yourself accountable? For some reason, for us women, it's so hard to acknowledge when we're wrong and to say that we're sorry. But a high-quality man is going to want to see that you can do that. It goes back to being a good partner. And number 5, last but not least, I hint at this one all the time, so I'm going to speak on it now. Feminine energy. I know for some reason whenever people talk about masculine energy versus feminine energy, it gets so controversial, and I really don't understand why that is. It's honestly very simple. Your grace, your class, your poise, your confidence, your nurturing, compassionate energy. If he's really looking for a wife, he's going to want to see a woman who can bring the qualities to the relationship that he naturally as a man cannot. Now here's the thing, and this message goes to men and women. It is not fair to go out into the dating market with a full list of all of the things that you need in a partner when you don't really know the first thing about what your partner is going to need from you. Relationships are a two-way street. And if you want to find and build a relationship that lasts the test of time, you're going to have to care about your partner's happiness and their needs just as much as your own.
Y'all will have to excuse me. I'm sitting in my bed and I'm highly comfortable, so I didn't feel like getting up or anything. But how do y'all feel when it comes to that topic? Like, I try to include both males and females when it comes to this specific topic of women being like masculine. Me personally, I've always been more of a feminine woman. Like, I have more feminine traits. I'm way more submissive. I definitely prefer for my man to lead. And there's a few reasons for that. I just feel like, genetically, physically, financially, I just feel like it's the man's job to be that way. Like, if we work a 12-hour shift in a warehouse, it's going to weigh a lot different on our body compared to a man doing it. They can go on and on and on, go with little to no rest, where I'm probably going to be crying after the first few hours. Like, it just hits different for us, where we're meant to do more nurturing, you know what I mean? Like, we're meant to be more of the homemaker, like the making the house a home, family. That's what we're naturally supposed to be doing as well. So I kind of go with the more traditional route of that. However, I do tap into my masculine energy sometimes when it comes to, like, okay, I'm about to work hard, I want to start this business, I want to do this and do that. Like, when it comes to making money, business, like, that's when I tap more into, like, my masculine energy of getting things done when it comes to that. And then also being a parent in general. Like, sometimes you got to tap into, like, your energy of, like, okay, my kids ain't listening, let me get them together real quick. Like, they got to know you serious, especially when you're a single parent. So that's how I feel when it comes to that. Now, I feel like you have to do what works for you. I know women, there's even women in my family who are more masculine, they're more dominant, and they just prefer to be that way. Like, I know women who call themselves alpha females, and they just prefer to be that way. But they might attract partners though that are more submissive. Like, they just naturally are more submissive, so they don't mind the woman being the more dominant one. It just really depends. Then, of course, it's the opposite, to where the men wear the pants and then the woman's more submissive. You gotta think what works for you. But one thing I will say is that you can't be like a masculine woman, 100% masculine, and then you want a man that is 100% masculine, because he's not going for it. And just like the lady, I forgot which one said it towards the end, she was saying, like, we attract what kind of energy we're in. So men who are, like, masculine, they're going to spot out real quickly women who are not feminine, who they know is going to be a problem with them. A lot of them can spot them out pretty quickly. And then women, us as well, I feel like we also do a pretty good job of spotting out, like, okay, is this a good partner for me, as far as, like, is this person going to be more of the dominant person, more of the submissive one? I feel like we just naturally attract that. I've dealt with a man before that I felt like wasn't the most masculine, and we just clashed a lot when it came to, like, simple things. I'm talking about simple things. We just clashed a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're a good match when it comes to that dynamic. So what do y'all think? Like, fellas, how do you feel like your woman should be? What do you prefer for your woman to be? Do you prefer her to be more feminine? Do you prefer for her to be more dominant? Like, what works for you? And ladies, what do you feel like you naturally are? Do you feel like you're naturally more dominant? Do you feel like you're naturally more feminine? How do y'all feel when it comes to this kind of situation? I definitely agree at the end of the content when one of the ladies was saying that it can stem from trauma in childhood and having to, like, do things on your own. And I feel like that's very true. However, you do need to do the inner work, especially those women who actually want to be feminine. You got to do the inner work, because you're not going to attract the kind of man that you want if you are in your masculine, because you're always trying to protect yourself. So sometimes I feel like that's a cop out for women to not do the inner work that they need to do to go back in their feminine. Like, who wants to be hard and stuff all the time? Like, learn how to be a lady, because masculine men, that's what they want. They want a lady. Like, what if somebody tough, they can go talk to their homeboy, they can go hang out with their homeboy. You supposed to be that soft place for them, that space for them, you know what I mean? So again, let me know what y'all think. Like the video, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will see y'all in the next video.